Right, this is my video for the replacement of a suction control valve on the Denso diesel fuel pump. The valve is commonly known as an SCV in the trade, and the symptoms of the car are that you could have lack of power, hesitation, cutting out and stalling, erratic tick over and poor starting. I purchased this off eBay off a company called PF Jones. That's the cheapest I found at £114 delivered. I'd been quoted prices of 155 plus VAT for the item, so 114 delivered was a very good price. PF Jones are an approved Denso diesel agent, and the unit comes with a 12-month warranty. My video will now show the installation of the new valve. In the box, you get your valve, a new O-ring, 2 new screws. This is what the valve looks like. It's got a little plug on the end, and my video will now show how to remove and replace this valve unit. Right, next stage, strip some bits off the car. Right, this is the Corsa 1.7 cdti engine. If you look at the back of the engine, right down the back there is the suction control valve. It's that item, silver item there. I'm going to attempt to go in from the top, so basically I'm going to remove some of this and then try and get in from that way. I think going in from underneath is going to be far more awkward, and I've read on one of the forum sites it should only take about half an hour, so give it a go then. Alright, I've now removed that hose. As you can see, I think access down there is going to now be a little bit easier. So I'm shining the torch in there now. I don't know whether you can, there's 2 cap head screws in there to get out. I've cleaned a lot of the debris out, mucking that around the valve. The hygiene, cleanliness, I mean, is supposed to be one of the sort of biggest things. The plug on the end I've pulled off, which you might just be able to see. It's only just squeezes it. You squeeze it and then it'll just come off. I'm now going to have a go at getting in there and undoing the screws. Right, what I found is when changing this valve on the Corsa is that you have great difficulty getting in with the Allen key as you would normally get in. So you need to have a ball Allen key, and obviously you've got to come in from an angle, but obviously you can't get the leverage. I would normally use a piece of bar like that to put on to give it more leverage, but I couldn't find a piece of bar, so I ended up using a quarter drive extension and just hooked that on the end, which then I cracked them undone, and I then used it obviously to tighten them back up. I found it, I don't think you'll be able to get in there with a normal type Allen key or any type of bit type Allen keys. So it's a 5mm Allen key and you want a ball end. I found that's the only way that you're going to get in there. You got to get in there at an angle. There isn't a lot of room, and like I say, you will need something. I know it's a bit of a bodge using that, but that worked for me. But I now got a bit of pipe, and I found I've used it on more than one occasions. So yeah. Don't know whether you can see down there, but I've got the bottom bolt is now hitting a pipe, and the pipe is quite rigid. So what there is, if you follow the pipe back to the engine, there's like a little clamp. I don't know whether you can see it, I don't think you can, but anyhow, it's just behind down there, and there's a little 10mm nut, which I'm now going to try and undo and see if that'll then loosen that pipe. Right, this is the valve out. I've got it out at long last. What I had to do, and I don't know whether you can see, I'll have to get my torch. What I actually had to do was I undone the clamp, but that was no good, so I had to undo a union on the back of that pipe, and I sort of tie wrapped the pipe out of the way. Didn't really work. I was trying to pull the other pipe out of the clip, but I don't know whether you can see in there, valve is now removed. There's an O-ring which needs to be replaced because they give you a new one, so I'm now going to get that O-ring out, put the new O-ring in, and get the new valve in. Right, I've got the new valve all in, as you can see. This pipe here, which I don't think you can see very well, but it's this silver one, this one here, look, this one. I've got my finger on it. That restricts your access to that bolt. So basically you have to sort of pull it out of the way. Now, the union on the end of that is just round the back of the pump there. You can do it from the top. It's a 17mm nut. Obviously you just want to just crack it undone. Just don't undo it completely because you might have a hell of a job getting it back on, but I just cracked it undone. I've loosened that other bracket. I mean, I don't know whether that made any difference, but there's a little 10mm nut, and I didn't take that right off because that looked an absolute pig to get back on. But the valve now is all in. I just got to tighten the screws up and tighten that. Make sure you tighten that union back up, otherwise you'll have diesel everywhere. Right, here we go. This is the moment of truth. See what happens.